they had the same like read of how to shut down a player like Insani as to what we saw, you know, not too long ago. I forget who it might be were playing, but yeah, Audic when they got shut down on Anubis. So it just looks like Red Canids understand their win conditions, understand how they want to operate. Dust2 is going to be what we kick things off on, though. That's going to be Vikings pick here, as you can see, as we hop on into the action. And then there's Decider left to Mirage. So we're getting the Dusty maps for today, which makes me very excited. And not all that surprised.
Orange maps. Are you there, buddy?
So much easier to see and aim on, you know?
That's true. That's fair. You know? Unlike green maps. That ancient.
Yeah, reminds me of touching grass.
Things I don't do, or that is that what you're intending?
Yes.
Either way. Yeah, Red Canids, I mean, the greatest of track records here. So I do think this is a good idea out of Vikings to head in this direction. Fortunately, not perfect start. They are going 1-for-1 initially as the move back over to B has been heard and called. And he will be asked to step up, and he's got a teammate coming in momentarily. The flash through. We'll get a couple of shots over the top of the box. Easy does it with David from the window. Penny will eventually fall, but it's up to Honda all alone. David will complete the three-piece.
Ain't that always the worst right there? Running into the B-bomb site and you got pesky USPs sniping you away. Never like that. As you can see.
Let me have it.
Yeah, just let me close the distance. Let me get up in your face. Unfortunately, that's kind of the issue when Vikings, they make that move through lower. It's all heard. Those footsteps pitter-patter and very loud in lower tons, so pretty easy, comfortable read here. Nython waiting for that smoke to land, but a great flash to start things off, and a challenge around the corner here. That AG is going to do some damage, but not enough, and goes down without a kill. Fortunately, it is just a Glock eco, so, you know, Glock's long range again, not going to go their way. There's no head armor for any, though, and he's hunting those eeks. A little bit of a liability there. If he loses that A1S, it might be recoverable from the MP9 of Venom's era. It's being tossed his way, so nicely done. Only losing those 2 MP9s, really, but not a bad round. I mean, again, you hit that 2-kill mark for Vikings, and you're kind of smiling.
I guess Cindy missed the memo. You know, the rules of hunting eeks is you got to have head armor. Like,
yeah,
that's the way it goes, man. Can't be walking into Glocks without it. That's an embarrassing moment. On the scout, it's David. And just about nothing given over for Honda over at long either to start out. First gun round. Honda actually coming back in for more. He's eager to get a gunfight over there and ends up taking a lot of damage for it. Spam through the smoke as it pops for the CTs. Red Canids will leave him worse for wear.
We'll see here. I mean, the scout double zoomed in on tunnels, long range. That little lurk smoke gonna make his job a tad bit more challenging. Watching the utility rain over, though, as they do use quite a bit of it. No, I mean, you are left with a couple smokes and a couple Molotovs, but there's no entry flashes to really take space. And on the other side of things, Red Canids, they still have a lot of Molotovs ready to go to counter the play. Vikings. I'm going to be interested to see what that end goal is going to lean in on. A deep Molotov towards tunnels, kind of clearing out that's information that is denied. And, well, they just used their 2 smokes for middle with a catwalk as their end goal. This is going to be a fake. They're looking to sell the rotations here. We'll see how good of a job they can do. ZMB going to lead the charge here, but already losing their long lurk is not going to help whatsoever. Now this mid-prong of approach is taken care of. And they've got at least a comfortable access in towards the site. Hinny, without his AWP, is going to have to be retreating on in, give that bomb plant on over. A tough job at hand here as well for Real Zen, lurking about towards middle, but being crunched, sandwiched in from all angles. And now a post plant 4v2. More real estate taken. Luke is a smart fight ahead. And looking to take even more. It's just going to be remixed, though, in the 1v3. Nython chasing things down, and a little bit of a labored sprays. Nython's got that motion. We'll do the trick in a retake.
And this was actually a pretty cool round, I think, from Vikings, like in principle. But then, like you said, they didn't have the additional utility to really make the cat hit that much more effective. That said, Red Canids, I think they were separated when those smokes come out for CT, or mid to B rather, and for that reason, they didn't really bite on the fake because they were so separated and well defended in both of the bomb sites. There was no reason to try and force that issue. Good decision making as well, trying to take space elsewhere. That's Nython really saving the day actually to win out long.
Here we go, classic Dust2 right there again. Firefights towards that long side, and this time that control goes in the way of Vikings, and strongly so. Sometimes I think it's a lot more difficult to understand where your mollies are landing, and I think that caught Nython off guard. He thought blue bin was fully mollied off. He thought there's no way there's someone standing, but the way that you can work around those smokes and utility is a lot more comfortable. But a long range duel here. Henny's up, already showing its face, and the pick comes off Honda. Re-peeks on in, and Lucas drops as well. They're panicking now as another pick comes through from Henny. That's much more like it with his AWP and the last man standing, crouched, cowering as Henny claims 4. And Nython watching that, just thinking, it must be nice.
Well, he's got to be feeling nice. This 4-0 start up against the Vikings squad. And yeah, unfortunately for Vikings, they did such a great job out long to start with. Like you said, the utility was on point. Well taken, even anticipating the close bin or close blue guy. But you really, I mean, if you're gonna take those fights and you meet the op, you have two decisions. You either run away or you accelerate. Like, you can't just sit there. That is the wrong answer, unfortunately, for Vikings, and they tried to scale, but a little too late in my book. David. Oh, David.
Oh, man. Those sweet ecos. Double digits landed here, Henny following suit. This is a scary look to start things off. As you had mentioned, this isn't necessarily the most comforting territory here, but it is a map that I think, you know, long term should be successful for this Red Canids squad, right? I mean, you've got a player like David on your team who loves to get aggressive on middle, take some valuable space, and you've got now Henny on this team as well alongside it. You know, a very strong, capable whopper. And that duo, Dust2, is going to be absolutely terrifying. Vidum Zera playing the B anchor in role. We'll see. I mean, he's going to get challenged. They're looking to pop through the smoke. Avoiding the flashbangs. Now he needs to land some headshots. No luck. Leveled out initially. We know how these B-side retakes go, and it's not oftentimes great. So I don't even think we're going to see this much of a challenge here.
No, I don't think so. Should be Vikings hosting the first round. A good one at that. The B hit last time out, not so effective. Really not because of anything Vikings do wrong, rather than, I guess, missing the mark and holding for the aggression from David on into lower tons. But I do think that's why the addition of Henny onto this Red Canids team is actually a huge plus for them. I think there was a lot of little things that didn't quite work for me for them, and they were really inconsistent, even feel like they're taking a lot of losses. Other teams got upset quite a few times, so the fact that now I think they've got a little bit more consistency with a dedicated AWP is great.
Right, I mean, just splitting those roles I think was challenging for Nython. And now, full focus, maybe playing a more comfortable sort of style of Counter-Strike is going to be what it needs. Ouch. Zera getting pressured. Oh boy. Close. Right there, but no cigar in the shots. Instead, Cold Zera going to be knocked out early. Has been a bit of a two-man show when it comes to the firepower and the impact here so far. It's largely been off the two ops that are being played right now in the double op setup for Red Canids. It's David and Henny doing a lot of heavy lifting. Python's had some impactful moments though, but right now Venom Zera needs to step up to the plate. Got David alongside him, transitioning into the site here. Oh, the op has been spotted here. Venom Zera still not seen. Finally, a flashman comes over. Venom Zera mows them all down. It's 3 headshots and all bodies on towards the tons. Reels in again, left shaking. It's a graveyard on the inbound right there. It is a fantastic defense this time from Venom Zera.
Yeah, missed the mark last time out. Couldn't quite hit the headshots. This time he's got 3 of them. It's fantastic spray control out of him. And not just that, the support was there. The flashbang to lead the charge. Provide him that opportunity. And even if things go wrong for Venom Zera, you have David's op right next to him in the back of the site. Even if could have been a little bit scary.
Little bounce back right there. Who put that smoke in mid?
They smoked mid, guys.
They smoked mid. Be careful, they smoked mid. I know it looks blue,
but it's not.
I know we won that last round. I don't know how they got the smoke. Flashbang's good. David peeking up. Oh my god. Tagged down low. He's not falling back though. Knew he was likely going to be put in the grave. Does get 2 mollies out of him before he does fall.
A little miscommunication there from Vikings to toss them both in. They wanted him really dead. Extra dead. That is a big piece down. And Henny is not here at long this round. He's clearing out tons. He's on a mission with Venom Zera. Which is going to confirm now that this is going to be an A hit. If there was ever really any question before. The escape being cut off by Red Canids. The longer the Vikings wait, the more that is true.
They're silent about their approach here. There's that cross smoke, gonna bait out the counter utility. They're gonna look to scale fast as opposed to slowing things down, but a big old Molotov is doing damage, chewing through them. That oftentimes can be the problem. Honda on the move with that AK spray. He's gonna connect the headshot on Python. There's more counter utility here. There's more blocks from Henny. It's on the back of Reels in. Henny charging forward with the 5-7, and Reels in claims it. I don't know if Henny realized his whole roster had fallen in the meantime. I think he was looking to sell the distraction, but he was left last man standing, and Reelson catches him looking a little bit lost inside the smoke. It's Red Canids that they stand the initial test there. It looked like they were going to offer up the resistance necessary. They knew where the play was going, but couldn't get past Reelson. He has been the difference maker, it feels like, in these 2 rounds that they've got.
Well,
he
and
found
he
the
is
entry
the
on B and then the 3K right there.
For this Vikings team, this team kind of starts, I think, with Reels in a lot of games that I've seen. He is the big heavy hitter in a lot of rounds, just impact-wise for me. You can find a lot of consistency, but I think the addition of Luke is added to that. Yeah, that's a big giveaway. Red Canids, they do everything right up until the last moment there, where they're just allowing the oh, okay, it's not done. Moves Henny round, another required, but not going to be given over. Goldera, this shot from David, and oh no, things fall apart. Blink of an eye.
Oh.
Red Canids, but Python's bringing it back, baby. To the in-game leader.
There you go. There's this rifle work put on full display, and there's an Opportun's flank coming through. They might have an idea. Venom Zera has been left alone on this B side plenty of times. But the bomb is down on Catwalk right now, and they've split themselves up big time. Chance to capitalize with this little flank. He continues to make the move on in. Venom Zera's his crosshair put so wide. He's going to walk right into it. Honda re-clears. And now knowing that that B player's down, now knowing that Python was stuck on this A side, he's going to get back onto that op. This time there's no need to call around, no need to look at the mini-map. It's just you. But I've got bad news. Footsteps are being heard. Realzen saying, hey, you're good. Go up A. Python thinking he has a masterclass in the read. Fortunately for him, Vikings just play it patient in the 2v2. Let the plays come to them. I think this either is a save at the best of scenarios. Worst case, he walks right into Realzen once more.
Canids just stuck in free fall this whole round. They start out just getting removed thanks to Realzen with a great shot. Just instantly gone was Henny over and long, and I think from then on out, Red Canids trying to play catch up. Had an aggressive Coldzera, gets his one, but then it's traded. David down and lower, doesn't really get the same level of success he would have liked to. Nikon does his best, but he is only human. I mean, two for him. It's really on to Venom Zera at that point. So it's not been any sort of statement rounds out of Vikings, but they're slowly but surely making their way back into this first half, right? 3 rounds. What was a dominant opener. Tested the double off a couple of times now. It's just the single this round for the Canids.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. Oh, David plucked one through the smoke, I guess. We were talking about it, though. They obviously had to forfeit their CCT matches. Well, I don't think it was because they couldn't field a roster. I think they had this Henny move lined up. They said that it was because they were trying to prepare for this qualifier. But that's obviously not a lot of time to prepare. So you see some of those small detail mistakes. Zera still kind of low on this B side as well. And it's Realzen again, somehow cracking through this B defense with crispy headshots, man. Not an easy task. But figuring out his way through these rounds. That is truly impressive.
I mean, I think it's important to note the amount of, like, all 9 of his kills are impact kills. All of them. You look at, like, ZMB, Remix, Lucas, like, all of these guys are 5 kills total across the board there. The Hod is showing up with them. And the fact that it's been enough that, you know, when maybe it probably shouldn't be numerically, it's keeping Vikings right in this half and doing so in an important way because, I mean, I don't think this is actually that bad map pool-wise for Vikings. Like, they've got 3 maps in here in Dust2, Anubis, and Mirage that they all play. But I don't give them a large chance at all on Anubis. I think Mirage is more about will be more about individuals if we get there.
I mean, this is a kind of a talking point, but again, like when you're operating with, I mean, in my opinion, the best player in the server kind of being, David when it comes to impact. You have players like Coldzera who can definitely step up to the plate as well. And now Henny with the op. It feels like pound for pound some of those individuals should be working a lot better. I mean, even Venom Zera, we've seen what he can do. When he was playing better roles underneath this roster, he was one of the more exciting prospects coming up as well. But Realzen on some of these key rounds has just been so much better. And he's keeping it up here. He's been so responsible for 4 rounds. Now Venom Zera put at the task here. Honda gonna catch that HE. He's still kicking though, as it blows open the smoke and gives Venom Zera access through it. And now looking to try and fight here. Nython, not a lot of safe places to stand, but still fighting forward here. Venom Zera going down, but doing so much damage beforehand. He said, "I'm tired of playing this B-side. Henny, go bring a telescope that direction. I'm gonna take some fights towards long."
Yeah, buddy, you can sit there and watch a smoke for 50 seconds.
Yeah, just
have
zoom
fun,
in.
pal.
They kept on popping through the smokes. It makes a lot of sense to just not smoke it and let them just have a cannon down there ready to go. If they try and contact out again, well, guess what you're walking into. This adjustment's super promising, and it puts Venom Zera probably just into a position in which he's more comfortable taking an active fight.
Yeah, I think as well the amount of success he's had, just continuing to be a menace there at long, adjusting his position multiple times over that engagement is why he had such success, and it leaves Vikings in a tough spot. Doubled up towards Catwalk or Red Canids. There's a long flank coming as well in the form of Nython. It's a nice spot actually for coldzera, especially with the contact made. There's really no way he's looking for that. And that's why Remix will go down. Flank comes in.
Oh. There you go.
That was a great round out of the Red Canids. Maybe the best we've seen from like a tactical rotational point of view.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a adjustment being made right there. Maybe off of spawns, but also probably off of the request of Venom's there saying facing some challenges on this B side, and saw an opportunity, they capitalized on it. I'm right there with you. It's good to see those adjustments being made here. And right back to the challenges of a B side here, jumping across. They're still sticking with this double op. David has been playing mid with the op so often. Henny working his magic up catwalk though. Full advantage of these boxes that allow you to fly up here. Nython again with the task towards this long hold, but so far mission accomplished, keeping them at bay. Now David strikes with his AWP, and you've got yourself a couple of advantages here. He stuck around for a little too long though. Reelsing now gonna pick up the mantle. And the guy that, again, you know, Honda brought them a 3K. Honda played it perfectly in the 2v2. But the 3 other rounds have been on his shoulders, so he starts it off trying to pluck these advantages on back.
Got to find an answer to some of these obs. I mean, it's already over the last round of the half, but retrospectively,
They've
Remix
had so much money.
They have, and obviously that's an issue. But I think trying to get Remix, who's typically the AWP player here for Vikings, into the mix would have been a preferable idea. Either way, that's sort of done and passed. One man left here on the hold. It's coldzera. Reels in. He's already brought one back with the op recovered. He's gonna have to do more.
Actually, catwalk.
Yeah, he's moving away.
Double back. Oh
boy, that is so frustrating, and a great instant shot. I mean, jump there.
Okay. Oh, cut off though. Henny not allowing him to cross. It's gonna be on Lucas to clutch up here. Last thing to start it off. That's a quick headshot. Now Henny up into it in a 1v1 with his AWP and an instant dismissal. Lucas to put it to rest, and Vikings, they get themselves one extra at the turn of the half. We'll be hopping into a break, and once we come back, that second.
And the world is spinning round and round in the fast lane. We're looking for satisfaction. We're on the chain reaction. And the world is spinning round and round in the fast lane. Oh, oh, oh. spark the fire. Blow up the storm and see the light, yeah. I told my friends that I could run on water, and they said nobody can. They'll see me flying through the sky, yeah. Play hide and seek.
Cherry on top right there for Vikings as they close out with the clutch, giving them a 5th round, making this a lot more manageable. With a 5-7 scoreline at the half, we'll see if they can continue to pull through here. Red Canids, though, again, they've got 2 pillars in the server. It's David and Hinny showing up with a lot of firepower and looking to slow things down. They've got an interesting pistol setup here, getting very aggressive, looking to suffocate the tunnel side of things.
I think this is great when it works, though. Gonna need to hit some shots and some individuals that have been missing in ZMB and Remix in particular.
If you look at this utility, it kind of feels like they're trying to sell a fake towards that B side because they're silent in their long curl. Ooh, Remix misses the timing. Go, David, right around the corner, good with the entries, gotta be sharp, and he is. I mean, the crosshair placement is perfection, and one gets knocked out early. Honda, I mean, maybe spotted here, but steps up, instantly dismissed with a quick trade, and David fires up catwalk. They've really bit on this fake, as well as David continuing to find kills on the lurk. Now Cold, still hanging around towards the middle. As a late activation, they're so worried about David, I can only imagine it's hard to expect another one in lower tons. And nothing that Realson can say, as good as he's been in that first half, it's not going to matter.
I don't even know if they so much bit, but they just essentially got false information. Like, they were so aggressive. They had such a forward-positioned Vikings early into this round, and they ended up thinking, okay, well, we have these positions, but they fall apart so quickly that crunch towards A comes in essentially immediately. And like I said, needed to get some of those individuals to win some of those duels. I mean, I don't think Remix was in a good position to, but certainly ZMB had a chance, and nobody does. So you'll add another to the tally there for Red Canids, who picked up both pistols.
Needing an elevation, trusting Remix with this force buy of sorts, and Honda got one through smoke right there. Just firing away a tag as well connected. Well, all right. A man advantage. Those scouts doing a lot of heavy lifting here. David forced into a panic. Again, it's a sacrifice of this long control. That could be a bit of a problem, but now a smoke for the cross and access in towards the bomb site. Be some relief. Another scout tag through the smoke, though. It keeps on cracking. And oh my god, Remix. There you go. There's a wake up from him. A headshot lands. How do you do? Put into place here. The labored spray from Hinny that doesn't actually finish the job. Venom Zera, terrified of making his access into the site, terrified of facing that scout, and there's what he was worried about. Still looking for these kills, but nothing is connecting in terms of finishing blows. And it's just not going to happen. This is a non-starter here for Red Canids. Those scouts did so much.
They were not set up for success, but some scary moments just to start the round. Like you said, scouts are just running rampant right now. Mix and Honda, both of them getting something. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if it's even that much credit where for Red Canids where they'd make mistakes. It's so we got to get this spray figured out.
Can we not just blame it on the Galil?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If they survive this, it's a miracle.
What?
I just don't believe it.
Miracle on
It's
Dust2.
actually unbelievable that both of them are still kicking. That there was no more casualties, but 5 players on just mere death. But Vikings are going to be happy with the end result of that round either way.
I think Vikings, yeah, get a little bit fortunate in the early stages of that round with the smokes and everything, but even beyond that, they did a great job of making sure to play off of one another really well in order to facilitate those tags. Lucas stands tall, grabs another one, an additional bit of tagging through the wall, through the box. The ninth on. This guy that he's going to continue playing like that. Give Vikings chances into these rounds. He spots another. Down into lower tons. Vikings with the man advantage don't necessarily need to make any moves or adjustments. And what they've got, lay it off together. Doubled up here on B for Vikings. With a more tentative hold towards A, with one on the catwalk to drop a smoke when he spots any information going in that direction. With 40 seconds left, decisions need to start being made. Let's move towards B. That just hopefully pull some attention away initially, but there's a lot Cold Zero needs to do this round to make this possible. Creelson is in such a grimy position here at Truck. Goodness, timing is crazy there. Reelson looks away, but Remix will grab them both, and he's the guy we needed to see step up to the plate. I think a lot more on the CT or on the T side. The AWPs ran rampant for Red Canids, but with him playing like that, this is a whole different story maybe for the CT side of Vikings.
It's maybe gonna just be a lot easier to work with this this sniper in the second half. Obviously finished off that first half with a single kill. Didn't feel like enough, wasn't enough. But Reelson brought them a lot of time alongside Honda. And that last little clutch from Lucas, I mean, again, they might maybe just did enough here. Gotta be careful with these Glocks up against them, but a sidearm will do as well. And still throwing utility to try and hunt down these kills. Looking for extra points of util damage, but nothing further. Comfortable coasting towards a tied scoreline now here for the Viking side of things, and have an opportunity to even further extend this.
Yeah, but for the first time this half, they've got a Red Canids with a full contingent of rifles on their side. I'm interested to see what the plan is. Oh, okay. Towards B, things. Lock it up. Go back in. Remix has the big one this time, though. For the scouts. Station being spotted out from David, but isn't really the players required to take advantage of any of that. Even if they wanted to, Red Canids were already really
crawling up here for a catwalk play. Potentially. But the challenge is at hand right now. Counter utility being faced, and force their hands on this B side. Remix is off. Chance to find even more success on this defense. ZMB with good counter Molotov. Not going to keep him at bay too well, but again, it's information that things are coming his way. Flashbang trying to connect as he gets charged down. He's really eager for these mid duels. It puts his opper alone. Back to the big box with so many targets. He's overwhelmed. Ninth on with a flying headshot to fall down in towards the site and secure the ground on B. Again, these retakes are not an easy task. And all the way through the lower tons. It further extends the advantage here. Lucas and Reelson, definitely the two players you'd like in this position. Try and save the round here. And giving him a good fight here. flashbang comes through, does not connect though. Lucas avoids it with a good angle. More proactivity gets punished, but his teammate is bailed in the meantime, so it was kind of a just a cosmetic kill. Just a little poking and prodding. Put a fear into the hearts of Red Canids for this retake that was never going to be.
Yeah, but if you look at the round as a whole, in its entirety, that was a round that Remix gets the opener, right? He has the AWP close, really shuts down the B play that Red Canids wanted to make. And I think it's ZMB who is making a little bit of a misstep there, trying to fight so aggressively towards window. And he makes it so that Remix, when ZMP goes down, if he doesn't just get all of the kills or get his one and then fall, then Remix has to hold 3 angles at the same time. And, you know, that's never going to be something you can consistently do. There's a little luck involved there. Vikings try a different tack. Get up in the faces of the Canids, and hey, it's working well. Lucas and Honda both get theirs in upper beat. So mistakes in the last round. Not necessarily going to continue into this one.
Struggling to take map control on this T side, which, to be fair, can be a massive challenge. We know those catwalk boosts, it opens up a lot more avenues for a CT side to take advanced positioning. There's so much that you have to worry about in terms of ground, and there you have it. Last time they did it with they couldn't quite close with a 5v4. This time they got a 5v3. They've one up themselves. There might be some more moves here to be made on the CT side. Walking into it, oh, that's just the tiniest bit of vision from ZMB. And catching the utility up. Great flashbang, double up, and almost a triple hit. He turns on a dime. But as he does land the adjustment, not too much he can do from this position in a 1v5. By Honda. Seal the deal. Double up available. Not going to go for it, but ZMB, you know, a decent time for him to step up to the plate.
Yeah, huge time. I mean, him and Remix, they were the guys that needed to keep Vikings in really the realm of possibility for this type of a series, or especially this map. Is, I mean, just thinking, as much as I think you and I both pretty high on the change, the adjustment here in the roster for Red Canids, like I think we both are in agreement there. It's probably a good change. It did just happen. So this is the time to catch them off guard.
Looks like they're doing that just well. Do pistols now. Boom, Sarah, Python. Getting a little bit of utility in order. We'll see how much of a surprise it can cost. This reels in. Enough to hold the line. Have good flashes, and even if they're good, it can still spray you down. Got utility inbound as well. 30 bullets in that AK uses to full effect. Finally to be finished off by Venom Sarah, but job finished for the most part. Remix to secure it, and a lead reclaimed here on the side of Vikings.
It's not one that they've had for very much of this map either, considering how much they've been working from behind. We'll get the Henny op back out into play. He's got the spawn as well to get this shot off. Comes through, and it does from Remix. Maybe got a little bit more confidence there, but buried deep in the dirt. Dust2.
They have a chance to take control here. Don't want to jump the gun in a 4v5, but what they have just missed is a round secured, essentially. As the B side is completely empty. And they're not going to quite press it just yet. Instead, they're going to walk in towards middle. You know, no one spotted on this. Ready to catch this aggression. Trades are good. A 1-for-1 will do. A reclaim of cat control. Luke is just around the corner. Flashbang to go in. What all is being watched? Are there any gaps in this? Not quite. Instant trades are still solid here for the side of Red Canids, maintaining that man advantage. Venom Sarah still has time to scale up long. This time, no trade needed. David will just crack through. ZMB gonna follow in his footsteps towards Catwalk, but round's gonna start to be put on the timer here at this point in time. Catwalk is cut off by a smoke as well. Op gonna be recovered, and that might be just the finishing play here. Looks like it is.
Yeah, a walk away slowly. The instant win con there might have been just walk out to B, but I think I can appreciate Red Canids playing essentially just to catch reaggression and to play off of one another. They do that very efficiently into this round. As much as we will end up losing a couple of additional players, we'll walk away with an op in tow. I will say this game is a lot tighter than I had anticipated. Reelson has done so much, him and Honda, to keep them alive. Thinking of a couple of clutch rounds, the 1v2 and a 1v3, I think it was officially. One over on the A site. Vikings have used their second attack timeout here, but they're actually not even fully broke if they lose this round. Which is actually pretty nice for them. They're still going to have something if it goes that way.
That long control established. Kind of hit on how this was a bit of a problem for Red Canids in some of these man advantage situations. Tough to pull back from. Once they get into a late round with some comfort, though, I think they are able to do a lot better work. But this time it's in the mid round that they're reclaiming some space. So Luke just fighting some ghosts, and Lord, not spotting anything. A lot of emphasis from this CT side on middle right now. It's going to be a head-to-head between David and Lucas here on the tunnel side of things. That will be won by the CT side. That is so much relief offered up by one man. Lucas cutting off the entirety of this B side of the map.
He's been doing it non-stop as well. All the time. That fight. He's had Honda in support in addition to that moments, and even his idea with the HE was actually really nice. It's just a little too early. 35 seconds. I mean, the hope right now is that Henny is sending signals that this is going to be an A-head, but it's simply not. Luke is unbudging. He goes down. He's got Reels in right on the entryway. Off angle. It should give him both, and both are down. Henny solo here towards A. His job not done. He'll have to try and save.
There you have it. I mean, even in the mid round, able to establish that ground. Lucas doing so much for this defense in terms of securing some space, and such a clear asset. Even, you know, doesn't stop at just that opening duel. He smokes it off and finds himself a second, and you know that at that point the round's going to be over. He's done enough. Kenny able to hold on to his AWP, but this is all in, really. Red Canids concede themselves map point with a firm lead here, but Henny taking some initiative. That's what they got him for right there. Opening duels like that. A player with some style and confidence. And ready for some more aggression, not quite. But Lucas is out exposed, wide open. And now he is stuck, completely boxed in. How do you get out of here? He's going to try and flash his way forward. He's trying to get some extra help here, but the flash is too strong. He needs to save his aim and just can't quite connect onto these shots. More damage done. And an HG to at least bring a kill forward. There's Remix so exposed. But it's a chaotic start. It's a very overextending attempt right there. Those sort of liabilities could be punished by red Canids.
That can happen, especially when you're a younger player making a bit of an overstep. He's calling in the backup, and backup arrived. But as you had said, how do you get there to help without overextending in your own way? Can't really do it. 25 seconds, though. This is by no means bad for Vikings. They might be a man down technically, numbers-wise, if you do the addition, but HP bars tell a whole different story. Creeping out mid together, though, which might end up being the perfect call. 20 seconds, and here comes the sprint. Coming in behind quickly, and Henny.
What?
Gun, you wanted to stand tall there on the B site. Gone. A missed shot that is, I would agree, a little bit odd. Don't know how that missed. They're all closing in on the red Canids. Oh, Remix.
Oh.
That one's one we didn't get to peek at, but he needed to. If he turned the right way, he should be traded. Yes, he is. Puck is out. He'll eventually get it done with a kit. There's plenty of time.
That's messy. But it does the trick. It's too many low HP bars, not enough firepower. I mean, I think you put it correctly. They took down the one play they needed to on the inbound. Even if Remix misses a couple of shots, you know, by some fashion I thought was on, but maybe it wasn't. It's still nice that they took care of Henny before he could get activated in a post plant. And that's probably just what saves that round for being red Canids. Potentially stringing forward versus that not quite being the case. But my god, Henny doesn't need an op to start things off, does he?
Yeah, I was actually going to say, he doesn't get an op because of that loss last round. I guess it really doesn't matter. He wants it, though.
Just HG.
If I can't have my op, I'll creep up and take on to town. At least try to.
That's not a bad pickup right there. Knife on through it, and oh my god, Venom Sarah using his rifle work for success. Molotov is good. Luke is sticking around in the flames for about a chunk of his damage. Cold as a flank as well. They've got B side. David's made noise though, so Honda's kind of aware. Oh, this is potentially how rounds can kind of get picked apart. See how it goes. Not going to be the case here. It should just be coasting in towards that A-bomb site. Lucas to try his luck at a save. It should be, you know, somewhat successful. And so much emphasis. Red Canids go for a hunt. They don't have a lot of money in reserve. Is the only, you know, question mark.
Yeah, I actually think it's worth it not to, especially considering that. Yeah, you don't want to give this op over, but Remix has money, and they won't know the exact numbers, but it does have stacks. It's really up to David to take them out, which would be a nice thing to find, especially for the final round of regulation. So, with the potential for overtime on the cards here, Cole, I have a question for you. If I had told you that we'd be walking into a Dust2, or Vikings would make a comeback in this nature, and we might be looking at overtime, would you have believed me?
Yeah, I mean,
What were your expectations coming in?
I expected there to be some, you know, details that Red Canids didn't quite have nailed down. Kind of even saw that with, you know, the old roster. It just requires so much on the individuals that. What's more surprising is you have David playing very good. You have Henny on his debut, you know, hitting some big op shots, having massive impact.
It's still close.
And yet still, Reelson has kept them in a good spot in that first half. He just, you know, kind of leveled up his game. The second half has been more so on the shoulders of, you know, Remix playing well alongside on Reelson. But it has become a lot more of a full team effort, and you know, they definitely have a lot to thank for buying enough time for these players to get activated here on the Viking side. For Reelsin to start things off, and without much help from the rest of his squad, just do a lot of the early round damage. The comeback was made a little more easier because of that, and that, you know, again, that second round, you know, winning the pistol for Red Canids and then getting responded by that's what all lifted it off here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, singing remixes praise has got to add Lucas to that equation on the CT side in particular. Bro has been unstoppable when it comes to aggression into tons. 3 rounds that I can think of in particular where that's worked a treat, given them advantages, won them rounds, etc. We had a tech into attack for the Vikings as we get down the wire. This could still be the win for Vikings. They do have that chance, but you look at the money and it ain't great. 2 pistols. That is Mick getting the opt-out as well. Sounded like David broke his legs, but he didn't take any damage.
Just how strong it is right there. Got reinforced knees.
Racers.
Good flash right there, but that's going to allow Remix to maybe step forward a tad bit later than they might anticipate. Still holding this off angle, though, that they've crept past. And it is going to be on Remix maybe for this deciding round to see who's going to be, you know, either closing out this map or forward. That Molotov is good. ZMB forced to dance a little bit on this long side. It looks like they just have an understanding of where things are being played. They haven't taken any contact, and the way that they're ducking around this op makes me feel like they know.
Yeah. They're going to group up. This is going to be a punchy play. The Canids. And that's the opener that they were looking for. No, Henny going to be removed, even despite his anticipation.
Going back to mid to B.
Honda says no, at least for David, who was the one to open up the proceedings. Back
20
through.
seconds.
They got to go. It's Lucas again. How many times would be asked to deliver in this map? On the CT side, this is one more, and one that he can't afford to lose out on, just buying some time. Attempting 9 seconds in Venom's era. Only to clean it up. Oh my goodness, Honda! Turn on a dime, 180 degrees, and now spotted the last man, but cold as ice to put them in to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, one step too far right there, Honda. Firing up right there, reliable as ever. In the late round, making all the right moves, but Cold Zera, come on now. It's 1v1 versus him. And while he hasn't had the best of opportunities, not thriving right now in Dust2, that clutch sealing in overtime going to mean a lot to the rest of his squad. And bought an opportunity to seal it here still. Pluck away the map pick of Vikings. Now they've got to dig deep. We got to see that experience shown that maybe they don't have. See how they handle this pressure.
Two is in real good place for Vikings, though, in the tournament. Some of the games I've seen from them. They can still bring this back. They did it once before. Why not again? You want to say that, for as aggressive as Vikings looked previously, I think Red Canids have started to figure that out. They seem a lot more confident taking these early positions, especially towards mid.
Positioning themselves well. Last time, they were able to use David to kind of sell a bit of a fake, but wait a second. Oh boy, Honda. What is he going to walk into? Because this position from Venom's era, he's not going to clear it. Walking onto the screen late into the round, that's a huge surprise. Honda now down, but Remix holding strong with his AWP. despite the flashes, getting good utility off alongside it. Now ZMB next at bat, spotted around the smoke, but still succeeds in his duel. Using that smoke to full effect, he's now on the site. He's activating. Meanwhile, his teammates are getting cut off on rotation, but they're stalled out on this T side. coldzera hits the pause button, and it's allowed for the rest of the roster to rotate on in. It's just pure panic.
We don't have time
It's
for
a lack
this.
of commitment. 6 to 5 seconds now, and the flank activates. Red Canids, they've meet a brick wall.
Yes, but also, like, Vikings had one guy, like, they had just Remix there. Like, ZMB was on the rotation. He had gone back towards CT mid, and he needed to move into that position. He only came onto the scene a little bit later on, and Red Canids just missed their window. They needed to be, I think, a little bit quicker at taking that space back, because otherwise, I mean, they run into the same problem we just saw, where once Vikings have at least a couple of more bodies, they can just effectively stall out the game.
That is some of the T-side woes that have been faced in the past year with the style which Nithon can call, but also just so many good aggressive elements that are scared to take duels in the late round.
I mean, I don't know how that gets better setup-wise for the T side.
They
No?
got onto the site. It just felt like the only one that was willing to go forward there was coldzera.
Exactly.
And I don't know what happened to the rest of the squad. But definitely a surprise.
I had Venom's era deep mid, and he's just not in a position to do that.
Had to
think-
pick on long too, right? If you catch Honda aggressing that far forward, it makes you feel like, bam, there's your pathway towards long, which is not a luxury that you get often on the T side.
No, always
Usually
got
have
to be
fight
careful.
for that ground.
Some of that aggression, not mid exactly. It is towards the catwalk. coldzera will get the trade, and the flash is actually so good. ZMB
Okay.
takes some time. coldzera non-stop. She falls flat, cut off from Venom's era. Okay then, Red Canids.
That's more like it. I mean, that's what they needed. That's for sure. I mean, it felt like they had learned their lesson. Why show that same fear? Why would we not be willing to take these fights? We got the utility to set us up for success, and I think trusting in that utility this round a lot better than last year. Lucas is at bat once again. Bit of a wild one right there, and David to follow suit. All right.
Absolutely wild when you know how often Lucas has been there.
I mean, is that just a communication breakdown? What happened there?
Who could have been holding that?
Maybe the op was boosted in suicide at the start of the round? That's my only guess, but...
No, the op
Whoa.
lost to smoke. For mid door.
Huh. I mean,
Start of the round.
that's wild. Maybe, again, I mean, frustration got to be seeping through after that one. Watching that take place. Don't know exactly what sort of communication was put in place to make Nithon think that was clean. Maybe hoping for a trade, but Lucas has been just such a pillar in that side of the map, and he's been there a lot, like you mentioned.
There's a way to do this, though, with the 3 players they have left. I mean, having Canids off in position as well is potentially a round-defining play, though. HE's continue breaking this smoke. Delay. It's the name of the game for Vikings is Honda. Position needs to be cleared out. Cleared out he is. Molotov to further not the aggression. They're out of it. Red Canids, at least out of utility. Coming back in as CMB somehow gets 2, and it's up to Hindy alone. Oh, he's out of bullets on the reload too. This is should be over. Hold on a second, guys. This is a little bit scary.
Oh my god.
Tap as well down onto Reelson. CMB not typically the offer, but he's got the line. This is the shot.
Oh.
He's tapping through. Hindy, no way. On debut, he pulled this off. It's simply 2 HP.
He's got him! Oh my god, Henny! With 2 HP, delivers the clutch. Unbelievable stuff. Again, on his debut, in an impossible situation, runs out of ammo with his weapon of choice forced into the sidearm. And figures out a way to chop those fights up, man. What a clutch.
That one's one Vikings want back. You know, mistakes everywhere that he's allowed to isolate. You can't even call them duels. He's just dancing. Happy feet on the site. That's not a good follow-up either. Honda floored. Out it long. A missed shot from Remix on the op. Denies a refrag as well. Change tact. Move elsewhere. Down to mid.
David dancing with fire here. Wild. Unrelenting aggression costs him. The big overextension made on that play. Trying to find a pick through that smoke. I'm gonna wish he had that one back. Interesting bit of utility you're left behind the smoke here, and again, it's gonna be largely on the shoulders of Venomzera, who's left in a tough spot. A committed position right now. But play utility used incredibly effectively. Such good utility. They're so diligent about this, clearing all their corners. Venomzera full committed. That's what happens. Gets knocked out so quickly. Not an answer from Henny as well. And again, it's a B-side retake.
Henny doesn't get one there on the entry too. It puts Canids in a tough spot, but with overtime money and everything, they were going for it. They had single nade, that's it.
That nade.
Oh,
That nade. Oh my god, Lucas.
it was sticky.
With no HP, swings wide. Up against the duel. And avoids the HE alongside it. As you said, wait a second, it's not over yet. Henny, with the sidearm out, he finds the kill! Another one from Henny! There's no time for the defuse though. He didn't have a kit.
What?
He picks it up too late. He was trying to save on for a little bit longer, and that's what ends up costing him. And he applies the pain. But
How
then,
did neither of
end
them
the
have
round.
a kit? Neither of them had one. It's overtime and 2 players don't have a kit there for a B retake. That can't happen. Well, Zierra grabbed one there at the end. I think he picked it up off a body.
Yeah, I think the bigger problem right there, I mean, the obviously wants to have enough money to reinvest and things like that, but I'm with you, that's a huge liability.
I mean, worry about that when you're out of money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe more so than anything, showing a tendency to play not to lose, right?
Yeah.
Anticipating the worst there in a certain sense for Red Canids, and they might have just experienced that much.
I was a 4 or a 5-on-4 as well.
Got another one.
Yeah.
This time, David not going to give back the equalizer. He's going to take that man advantage. A little redemption for him as he whips out the secondary once more. But they're still super confident on the Viking squad right now. In terms of taking this map control, not a lot of hesitation being put on display whatsoever. Even in a 4v5, playing like they've got nothing to lose right now here on the side of Vikings. A bit refreshing.
They come into this game, this event, you know, the qualifier in general, I think, underdogs to everyone here. Only to be moving up. Well, Zera,
Oh, beautiful.
great break of the smoke. And both. They pair hands. Cold Zera Bender in overtime. Lucas, what do you have for us, buddy? Another one. 18 out of reach. And it is for gold. 15 rounds now. They get the map point this time.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for the side of Vikings, the longer this game goes on, I think just the more Cold Zera is going to step up to the plate here. Good in the clutches, good in the late round situation, and it has been you know, in the later stages of this game, in overtime at this point, Henny, with his experience, his vast plethora of experience, and Colb's there, this duo, showing so much potential. And that's kind of what you need to lean on here, as the game gets later and later for Red Canids. Luxury that you've just afforded yourself with this pickup. Clutches like that from Henny. Again, if you're watching that, your Nithon, you know, sacrificial and giving over that op, understanding that maybe that wasn't his strong suit, not any longer at this given time, and there's a sacrifice he's willing to take for the success of the team. We'll see maybe if Henny gets an opportunity to do it one more time here on this cap play.
Still down to the wire for Vikings, under the minute mark. In the final round here over
Transition.
time. Number 1, and yeah, move back. So, into the fake towards A. Utility such, they're scaling for the A split, or at least somewhat so, but hello. EWP. When that's the long guy gone. Shot though from David. He'll come up for another. Remix is blind. As is CMB. Free firing is David on the 3K.
Oh man, it's the deadliest game of whack-a-mole, and they just can't seem to find him. They can't hit the hammer on the head just yet, and Nithon to secure it. It's Red Canids close. In overtime requires extra innings, but they finish the job. They seal the deal. They lock themselves in their opponent's map pick. Again, a bit of a labored effort. Again, some small details not nailed down here from Red Canids, but it is also what we come to expect when we deal with these last-minute changes. Obviously, Hardzao fresh onto the bench, who's been able to come up with good game plans to shut down opposition. That feels just a lot tougher than usual. It just feels like there's so many different win conditions going on for Red Canids. Now, can they bring all of those same win conditions into this matchup so early on with these changes? That's going to be the question to ask here. We're ready to hop into the action, though. We're ready to find those answers out. We'll do so with them starting on that CT side here.
Side win rate wise for Anubis. Also curious to see, I think, how Vikings deal with any like aggressive CT side play from the Red Canids. Here's a nade setup that actually pretty well situated with the Julies of David right next to drop smoke. I don't think Vikings want to go through that.
The issue is they threw both their smokes. Bit of a problem. They're going to commit. They're going to have to. I think they realize that the hard way. And now it's up to the dual Beretta's close range, and a little bit of a labored spray from Nithon with his USP trying to land these headshots and gets run down. So I think the Vikings understanding they had a small window of opportunity to capitalize on, and they fully did. Oh, Henny though, what an adjustment! A fiery flick as Hana didn't take care of business instantly. This could have cost him in this post plant. Remix looking to save it, but he doesn't have enough health to tank through, and neither does CMB. Only a couple of shots will do the trick. They think he's in main, though. It's still, again, going to be the flying dual Berettas that close things down. And the foundation that was set from Red Canids early is what closes it out in the long run.
Yeah, that's, I think, a good decision, like you were talking about, from Vikings, understanding what they needed to do, but realistically, we're set up to fail the initial loss of manpower there. Do well to trade. Nithon stays alive for a long time, though, to buy the rotates, and of course, that huge shot out of Henny. Just 180 tap for Honda. So with that, get Red Canids onto purchase, though Vikings with their bomb plant going to be in a similar boat. And because the kills are actually spread out pretty evenly there for Vikings that they got into that round, they have four Galils, which is a lot more threatening than those MP9s on the other side.
eventually they have to bail out of this control. They stuck around in Canids for so long, but Vikings were always gonna look to reclaim that ground long term. And that they do. But time being bought off the clock and very little counter utility left for the CT side, although that one used to full efficiency right there. Molotov deep in towards A main. And that spot further time as the smokes lie in. Only HE to get him past it. Counter flash is already inbound and they read this attack early. They get the early alarm bells rolling, but they need the shots to back it up, and they certainly are there. One more to challenge David around the corner. Cut off towards middle. Honda has found 2 quick ones, but there's not enough time to transition in towards A. Now it's up to David, and the clutch stands and tries to deliver, but Honda this time gets some redemption. Missed it on the pistol round. A couple of crucial shots, but saves them in the follow-up force buy.
Yeah, that's crazy out of Honda. The fact that he's getting up mid there with so much success, and then cuts off to further rotate. David, who had already done a lot of heavy lifting in that round with the double kill, picks up a third there towards the site. An off angle doesn't really help him out as he misses the mark on the instant spray. Let Vikings buy back in. Good job. This will be Red Canids this time on the force buy of their own, but a way less effective one. 3 Deagles, a couple of MP9s. Around. Just a late hit. The trades didn't look so successful for Vikings. Clutched up there towards the end.
Big time. Running into counter utility, all of it going right for Red Canids for the most part. Everything according to plan until Honda stepped up. Was the disruptor. Now, oh my god, David finds the timing. Is able to fire through the smoke and already put a bit of thorn into the side of this offense. coldzera still has coverage on this temple play. Walks in, the smoke's gonna fade, and another quick headshot of the Henny, providing further pain. That's onto one of the high HP players, and now they're gonna just try and fly through into this B site, but there's already resistance. 3 players rotating on in. Off-angle held. David exposed, but that allows the coldzera and venomzera to strike in unison. Can they fire away enough shots? It can be. Collaterals are connected, and venomzera with his weapon of choice, that deagle that he's so deadly with, does the trick, and Red Canids strike back instantly.
A little bit of luck there, I think, for Red Canids. Just the MP9 shot through the smoke. It wasn't even... ZMB was the guy who made noise, who stomped forward a little bit. But he was already through. Barely any space behind him, though. And that was taken. Canids, great sponsor. Gets closed there, actually. Zera. Idea.
Oh my god.
That's actually a really hard spot to spam correctly, I think. We'll get it done. Eventually.
Unrelenting, man. Just never knows how to give up, does he? Now, David, I mean, with his aggression in a similar vein, that he is likely toast? Nope. Okay, but his teammates might be. There he goes. At least that turns the attention. What could have been a bit more of a disastrous flank opportunity from Honda. Ends up only amounting to a singular kill. A valuable one, but maybe just not valuable enough. One deagle shot will do the trick, especially if it's onto the head, though. But Henny will swing out with some confidence, and now it's just left to lose his armor. The head armor gets skewed through. Henny with that MP9, not only farming up some checks, but recovers the A1S, and with all those kills, I don't know if he needs an op right now up against the pistols, but could have gotten one if he wanted to. He's just gonna stick around with the A1S though.
Yeah, 3 MP9 headshots will do that to a bit of head armor. Break it down real fast. Good looks out of Vikings though. I think even in those force buy rounds. Unfortunately, not able to recreate some of the magic they found previously. Lucas is up close here. Oh, great. Oh, move from coldzera to adjust his crosshair. David is closing in from the other side. Anything would have Glock. Remix might have had it. Honda even gets one. But anything more was just a step out of reach for the Vikings.
Same strong start for another CT side. Red Canids could have got a bit more rocky. The force buy was converted then. That could have been a problem. Sarah blasted out of the round. Was looking for an aggressive angle. And instead, leveled out. Python playing a pretty forward approach towards this A defense. They got a boost past that, or try and explode through it. It is going to be a boost, trying to clear out some angles. Smoke's going to fade. They have a lot of real estate here. And Python's very lackadaisical on the approach. Catches some good damage, but he can't really stick around too much for the resistance for the fight. He's trying his best, but it's just further damage here inflicted.
I mean, that's kind of okay, though. If David gets his one, will he trade it, surely? Yeah, he will. Lucas trade back from bridge immediately. The bombs get so far away, got to be collected now. That's the power of what David found on that lurk through. E-box side. Smokes are going to start fading here in a moment. Penny, line of sight, but Python, who did well to stay alive, now removed. Zera on the flank. Two players softened up significantly. When Henny's actually come back in, he's given this opportunity because of how long it took Vikings to get the plant down. But, I mean, by this time, surely they expect to see this flank coming.
Oof. The EB caught overexposed, though. You gotta start running on this flank. coldzera continuing to fire forward, though, and Reelson just doesn't have an HB. USB is out. Henny looking for the finishing blow. He whips the op out, though, late. Doesn't matter there. Reelson able to transfer the spray comfortably. And the Vikings close out. And the very scary post plant, but one that they convert on nonetheless.
Could have gone wrong so many different ways, actually, for Vikings. David was a thorn in their side, dropping the bomb like that. I think well handled there towards the end. A continuation of the form from Reelson. Kept him in at early days on Dust2. Provided openings here on Anubis. We got the Henny op. It is a lack of utility left for the Red Canids.
Taking a bit of an aggressive approach towards the same main defense. But knows his limits and isn't going to press it too far. They're putting a lot of pressure on this side of the map, though. I think the Vikings might be right in identifying this kind of target rather consistently. Looking to challenge what has been positionally a bit of a change for this CT side in the map. Python anchoring down that A side.
After all of that pressure applied, they'll move back towards B for the B split. Zera. He does best he can with the weaponry he has. David. Hold station. Lucas coming in to follow up. He's got two players to deal with. The keep out there towards the A site dealt with from Henny, who I think was in not the greatest of positions to hold that up at Orange when there was all of that pressure. But now at Pool, that is a place that's so hard to remove a dedicated opper from. Vikings meet enough of the resistance on B. It doesn't matter what happened today, early days. I don't even know if you're happy that you've got ZMB's Galil left.
Yeah, not the best, most ideal save, right? But
Well, it's not even just that it's a Galil, it's that it's a Galil he's gonna have no money next time if they just save around it, and like he has no utility either.
yeah, it's always that like equation. And oftentimes what I've heard from players when they're in those sort of positions is that the big point of keeping it and saving it is that it's so much more potential to inflict damage in further rounds. And while it may separate your buy, you can still afford a Tech 9 and armor, try and lean on some of the other AKs in future rounds.
Yeah, and you could juggle it too.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, maybe that's what they're leaning on. That's usually the thought process around those sort of saves, but again, can cause some disruption. And that's exactly what Red Canids did.
It's not what Vikings need at this scoreline either. You know, I think already this is a fine half on the CT side of Anubis, and likely to add another one if this Glock plus the one rifle goes to plan. Oh, the only guy to get removed. Let me get the bomb down. That is job done. That's gonna make things easier next time around. Python doing his best to get out of the way of those swinging blocks. Wait for the team to get back into position so that they can come back in together.
That's a great bomb plant. Kind of nullifies some of the pain we were talking about. A good opportunity to try and close the distance with the weaponry. As you can see, ZMB rocking with a MAC-10 now instead. Good looks. A lot of Vikings to give them that much here. With some quick utility. Little Lurk smoke, it seems, outside the beat play. Try and take some fast space, and it hints at the idea of maybe that MAC-10 looking to get some positioning, but that necessarily isn't the case. Instead, a lot more focus put on towards middle. And the way that they're holding mid, Venom Zera deep in canals, this is a good spot to be in. Oh my god, a little bit of a block, but they're all blinded up. Great flash tossed in. Finally, Venom Zera gains vision, but it is at the cost of sacrifice of David. In the meantime,
ZMB might be tacked up. You can now upgrade to a little bit better weaponry in the M4A1S. Would have been the sacrifice. Knife on a hit, weak shot. He'll do it on this try. The third opportunity, he'll deliver that as well.
oh my god.
I thought you mentioned it in our pre-show, Cole, and I honestly couldn't even remember like in the back of my brain when seeing him on a rifle, but it has looked good. Nighthon's rifles.
He's just a better rifler. It used to not be the case, but there's, very early on, back when he first taken over the role, he wasn't opping. He just was refusing to. And I think eventually kind of understanding that they needed an opper, he did eventually start opping again. But it always looked better without it. Just straight up. And it was because he was confident enough to take aim duels, but it was only with the rifle. So on Vertigo, he was like a just menace. He was a menace with the rifle on side all. He was so unstoppable, so willing to be aggressive, whereas it felt like he was back to his like pain gaming level of like op aggression, but he was just doing it with an A1S instead, and that was like refreshing to see. And this is kind of refreshing to see. He doesn't fall back. He's 26 HP. He knows he's up against the op. He re-swings, which is not what you'd expect if you're an opper there.
And it also provides, his A player just so much more freedom, to work. Like, even if he goes down there, he can get traded very easily. That's, I think probably the goal. It's okay if I go down, I'm going to get traded here. Do it again, Venom Zera. Not that far off. Another HE. We'll try it again.
Ooh.
There we go. Eddie on the move. But on the flip, too, get his first, and Gold Zera, Venom Zera, and David all chime in for one on the entry there. I mean, Red Canids just had so many players, like, within walking distance of that bomb site. I didn't even notice if they had, like, control at A, but they must have.
They had the whole defense ready, that's for sure. They close that out all according to plan. Venom Zera again playing so much more confidently alongside him. He does go down. And he does the same. Oh boy, David.
Oh.
What are you getting up to? Some funny business in middle. 13 and 6 with 100 ADR plus. Honda says enough of him. That is enough. And we'll delete that. Gold Zera, last man standing. As the aggression this time around does get punished. 4v5, and they just look to continue to press the issue. This time around, I think Red Canids playing a tad bit overconfident. It feels like a lot of over-aggression. Or I wouldn't even say over-aggression, because I don't mind it if they're pushing on the CT side. But it felt like they were pushing a bit isolated.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if it's together, it would have been all good. But a fight pretty much across the map is what happened. And, I mean, even, I will say the overstep, probably Venom Zera sticking around for another gunfight after winning his one. Would be the only time that I would say. Either way, yeah. That confidence sort of well-deserved after what we've been watching. I think it's, you know, to a certain degree, especially when in a matchup like this where, again, I think it's fair, especially in their own minds, Red Canids think they're probably very heavy favorites, especially on this map. Maybe a little bit of limit testing there. What will they let us get away with?
Yeah, I mean, trying to force some respect, or just continue to disrespect their opponents more so than anything until they're finally punished for it. And maybe lessons learned right there in that last round. But they've already built up such a great foundation of a half on this defense. Oh, they're going to continue to limit test here. Wow, what a flash. That's much more like it. Some counter utility going on right there to shut things down. Lucas has made his move past the smoke. How is Henny prepared for this? What is he prepared for right there? That's incredible awareness, and the smoke fades not in ZMB's favor. My God, it's just too much to catch this guy off guard, apparently. Honda left to pick up the pieces, and knowing what he's up against right now. Around that corner. Let's see how diligent he is on the clear. Not enough to get past Nithon. It is going to be a 9-3 half. Dominance asserted from Red Canids in the first. We'll be tossing this one to a break, and once we come back, second half. Definitely a statement being made right there from Red Canids. Confidence leading into the second half. And they've got a 9-3 T side to work with here to try and close things out. A massive advantage and an A side play to kick it all off. Kilvin trying to buy time, but there's only so much this poor man can do as he's charged down by the whole squad. His teammates have rotated though. They're quick on this inbound, and the flashes are not there anymore. No longer blinded up. They run into the rest of the resistance, and it's going to have to be a quick transition in towards this B-side play. It's a close race between Cold and Honda. We'll see who wins out the race into the site. Go. Cold's there at least able to secure maybe safe passage for this bomb to transition in. And that's mission accomplished at the very least.
Yeah, that's additional threat into the next round, regardless of how this retake goes. With 3 strong are the Vikings, and they all head through Temple. Let him come out. Zero pops into place. He'll take out 1. Knowledge is where the other 2 are coming now. Remix. Grab his, and it's up to Henny again. Look, actually onto the bomb. That complicates things just a little bit. He's gonna hold it. He's got hit. Is there not enough time at all for Henny to see those careful shots that he was trying to? Clearly not thinking that they had gone for a kit in the pistol. And he is wrong on that.
Just hoping he could track those shots. Just couldn't. Guy's been a stud in the clutch. But an attempt too far. Smoking a defuse kit always goes such a long way on a pistol round. It feels like. That's exactly what we see. Not too bad. Initial go around. That's a way to start things off on your CT side of winning a pistol, getting your head back into things quickly. That's a big if though, because the force buys do come back, and those are what can cause those challenges immediately.
This one might be particularly deadly with Henny on an AK. Old and David both have Galils. Those are the guys that you definitely want, and then Venom there at home on a Deagle. Pound for pound, these individuals can get work done. It looks like they're shaping up for what's going to be a B hit. Leaning in. E-box move. They drop the smoke down. On a cold, and will eventually be taken out. You can try to over the top of the smoke. It's very cool, but nobody gives him a look. Oh no.
I can't believe they're getting nothing out of that boost. I can't believe that Molly didn't catch it. Finally! Patience paying off as David gets vision on that. And massive flank formulating. Reels in, but the MP9 faces a little bit of a panic. And Nython, he avoids it initially. The bomb being stuck. The kill comes through. Cold Zero on 1 HP. The bomb's stuck, but there's no protection from E-Box. And Nython jumps in just in time for the round to save it. Oh my god, Red Canids at the buzzer closed things down, and Vikings feeling the pain of that lost round.
Yeah, they ran out of just utility to cover anything off. They didn't have a smoke or really anything to help to help them take those fights against an oncoming Cold Zera. Main, that's a heartbreaker right there. Vikings and attack timeout called, but really, it's down to the wire, and not a misstep on their part, really. Just an out of tools, I guess, in the kit. You gotta think, 2 in a row there, close victory, and then a close defeat. It's not the momentum swinging first half or second half that Vikings need.
Not quite. I mean, it is just a taste of their own medicine as well. Same thing that happened. Vikings with one of their rounds. I mean, so far it's been forced by that spanned out for them, and then obviously that pistol. They've had opportunities to get early starts in both of these halves, and both of them have flown by. unfortunately for them. And Red Canids really showing their strength on this map, even though there's some new changes, even though they've got a lot of learning to do with this roster. What still stands is a lot of comfort on this map, left over from the days of Hard Sal. Uh-oh.
Stacked up.
It's too much. Too much firepower on the other end of things. Trying to get those consistent flashes over. But it does not quite work out in their favor. That does, though. Honda, I mean, gray screened around that smoke as it fades in and out, but lands the headshot with that 5.7 close range.
Or 5.7s have to do some work, though. Former Lucas, EMP. That'll work out brilliantly. They're all down, all three. Fox David comes in himself and everybody else. Lose track of the CT through smoke as Honda comes in to close the deal. We're doing it again. Vikings, force buys seem to be their bread and butter right now.
Force by words going to continue forward. That's a massive shock, massive surprise, though, I will say.
Well, they had three of the best guns in the game, so...
Right. And they also had a 5v3. Red Canids. I mean, as soon as I do start to raise and kind of get caught, very eager. They've been isolated. What they started off so well was the early foundation of holding off mid with a duo. Quickly gets broken down and torn apart.
Well, you know, I do think that as much as, yeah, especially Venom Zera gets isolated, they grouped up after that. You know, they had the 4-on-3, and they're like, okay, well, they've got that. We'll just go double spawn.
Yeah, I'm with you. Right, I think the initial play right there from Venom Zera made a lot of sense, trying to identify a stack, but he gets knocked out by only a single player. He doesn't really get much information off that. Good recovery, though. Unfortunately, they're left into another 5v3.
Yeah, though.
See if Red Canids can capitalize.
This is a good decision, I think, for Vikings. It's a risky one, but in 3-on-5s, you don't have a lot of, like, right options. A lot of damage done. Chunking
the
down.
bomb as well.
Good point.
David goes on his solo adventure, and this time there is a stack on his A side, or B side, I should say, and they've got an access to a comfortable side of the map here. 3 bomb plants, but I just don't know if they know how much damage is done.
No.
And on the opposite side of the map, on this retake, they're just not going to quite give it the go.
I think the other problem is if they go for it and they don't win, give up 11, their money is absolutely rocked. You know, they're back on 5.7's armor at best if they lose. So that coming into the equation for the thought process of saving as well, alongside being so far removed. But it is 11. The Red Canids pick up.
Terrorists win.
It'll be a pretty effective buy for Vikings with those 3 rifles saved.
It's a great save. It gives him another good opportunity with the purchasing power, but all running out of rounds to work off of. There we go. Aggression from Remix. Steps up to the plate. Give it a swing. Just a little poking and prodding taking place. Nothing super committed. Other than this just spray and constant back and forth in the mid duels. doubling up in that direction of the map.
Once they're done there, they're gonna shift their focus. The majority of the Red Canids are gonna shift, say, in order to retake a main control and try and cause either a rotation or just to put pressure on here. Might remix on the trade. He is removed. So 1 for 1 there. Big favorable for the T's.
One of those A1S is removed. The A side put a bit of a hurting on. It's a good smoke. 30 seconds left. You want to wait this thing out. Good luck. They've just reclaimed some space on A, but that's a big boost. David firing away. Flashes through the smoke. Catch Lucas, who has to dive inside of it. Wait a second. Lucas might have a play. He's made his way on in and out of the smoke. Now he's in main. Reelson might be the first one at bat. Needs to make him charge forward, and only a single kill coming through. Reelson now left with the 1v3 to avoid giving over series point to Red Canids. And hiding on pizza of all places on the platform, ready to go. How much can he find from this position? There's a quick headshot. The trade could be inevitable, though, as Reelson on top of the bomb taps it. But too many duels and too much to worry about. Red Canids claim themselves 12. And it's that nightmare scenario for Vikings. Is they're going to have to make it happen with 5-7s to save this series.
Yeah, I mean, but they've done it so many times before. It's been the Force by 3 of their 5 rounds have been to the Force. So I guess maybe a nightmare for most, but maybe a little more comfy for them. Would be for more than usual people on this type of buy. I will say, Red Canids, though, they are not taking any like risks in that round whatsoever. Just playing a really slow default that ends up working quite well. The trade over towards the A side of the map, and the move back towards B, just really nice. Set things in motion for what could be the 2-0 here. On a round, and Vikings can't stop it, and lots of utility fast towards B. On 0-2. Smokes come up. They will slow it down.
It's just a firing squad. Non-stop pressure being applied to try and break past these smokes that are cycled over and over again. But there's gaps in these smokes. Holes punched open by David, who continues to break apart this B-side defense. And another 5v3 opportunity. Another B-side stack. David maybe gonna find this out the hard way. He's making moves on in, identifying where a couple of these individuals are, and not overextending, still staying alive, still being a nuisance, and still keeping eyes turned in this direction. Finally goes down, and Honda's rotation being heard and caught. Open access towards A. What could be the beginning of the end here, at least for Vikings in the upper bracket. Remix at bat, same result. Again, the lower bracket still waiting for them, but it's Red Canids definitely showing their strength today in this series. It was a tough fight on Dust2. Anubis looked a lot more comfortable as we expected.
I mean, they're
time. Just giving it a go. Dancing with these duels.
How many fadeaways?
And there you go. No luck. Not a chance. Shut down. Red Canids again advancing here with a nice 2-0 victory, and I believe that other series as well has been, completed 2-0. As I mean, Audic able to complete the mission over Bestia, so that leads us up to what is going to be a pretty exciting matchup there between Bestia and.